Actually, let's jump into the what this podcast really is to you.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that. So I want to know. I want to know like you're thinking and like dig deep on why you've went into this like hardcore.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. That'd be I mean, I know it's a little more serious, but me and you can we've had serious conversations. We can do that,
Oh yeah,
our whole lives, hell, or
yeah,
half of them anyway,
uh-huh. Yeah.
Uh the podcast, man, there's a lot of different factors that have gone into it. Back whenever I was a kid, I say kid, pretty young, like I'd say after 10,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of set like a set of goals up. And there were a couple things that were important to me. And a lot of people set those goals as, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a cop. I want to do all this. And really the things that kind of like hit home to me whenever I was that young was I want to find a wife,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be married, and I want to have children.
Yeah.
And my goal was to find my wife young and start my family and do all that when I was young,
Mm-hmm.
and say what you want about me making that decision whenever I was a kid, but that's what hit my heart.
No,
What?
I think it's the way we were brought up. Like that's as a man, what you're supposed to do. I mean, I don't think anybody has a different opinion on that. I mean, that's the way we were raised.
Yeah, yeah. The family first type of thing. And so like what I mean in that is like, and I lost. I don't think that I drove hard into goals for my education or career. Like my focus and my goal was I want to find my wife and find my family,
Mm-hmm.
and growing up with 8 brothers and sisters and a huge family, with wonderful parents,
Oh yeah,
it's not surprising
Coach Purvis.
yeah, Coach Purvis,
Oh
dude,
yeah.
you bet. It's not surprising that was like an important thing, I guess, but that's what hit me, dude. So I spent really, I guess, my formidable years whenever I would have been like making decision and career choices and things of that nature, wanting to get set up to have the goals that I had established, which was a wife, a wonderful wife,
Mm-hmm.
and a wonderful family, you know? And, God answered those prayers, man, as a young kid.
Oh
I
yeah.
found my wife in high school. We met when we were 15,
Yep.
started hanging out, even though I wasn't allowed to. Ended up
Yeah.
getting grounded multiple times for
Yeah.
hanging out with
Yeah.
my now wife.
Yeah. Exactly. Like,
For, which is just
thanks a
funny.
lot, mom and dad.
Yeah, and mom and dad have actually told me a couple times. They're like, "I'm sorry,
I'm
we're
sorry
sorry."
for grounding you
Yeah,
for.
for hanging out with your wife.
Yeah.
Which
The
is
loving lady that you're gonna have your children with in your family, like they would ground you,
yeah,
keep you away from her. Like,
yeah. Anyway, that was a goal, dude. Went through some growing up times, but the goal was got the wife, check. So really, check wife and family. That was my stuff. Didn't think a whole lot about career. Didn't think a whole lot about like what a passion might be for what am I gonna do for what is my passion as far as work goes.
yeah,
You know?
because you kind of like just really went from mowing to like doing utility work, didn't you?
Yeah. Now I went to welding school and I
Oh, I
did get
didn't
my
know that.
certificate. So I got
Nice.
I got certified in that. And then I had done a bunch of other like part-time jobs along the way
Yeah.
where, like I mean, I always it sounds braggadocious, but I always ended up in like I worked for the Y and I was in a supervisor role there, and just at our church, I was asked to be the youth pastor and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
So it's like, it was always I got asked to do things that I could put on a resume, and that
Yeah.
and that's fine. But yeah, pretty for the most part, as far as like breadwinning activity, yeah, it
Yeah.
was essentially like lawn and landscape to utility,
Yep.
So, but I've been very blessed all along the way with everything that, all the doors that God's opened have been awesome. And it's amazing because I got my goals, dude. I got my wonderful wife, and I've got my wonderful daughters, and we got a beautiful home, and it that was the stuff. That was the goals,
Yeah.
and a lot of people they'll think like, okay, what do I want to do for the rest of my life as far as career goes,
Hmm.
And here's the thing, I'm so blessed. I love what I do.
Yeah.
I absolutely love what I do. But another fact of this is like, dude, whenever I grew up, I would work with my dad in the work truck every day. You were talking about that old
Oh yeah.
85
85
Chevy.
Chevy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and driving around in it, dude, we listened to AM talk radio.
Oh man.
And as like an 11 or 12-year-old kid, I was like, "Oh, this is the worst."
Yeah.
And then it didn't take much time, and I was like, "Hey, we need to turn the radio on."
Yeah. Exactly.
Like uh we might hear stuff. It might be Paul Harvey or Rush Limbaugh or whoever it
Oh
might
yeah.
be, but listening to it with my dad, I learned to love it, dude. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. You were learning something from it at a very young age.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was you're right, dude. I was learning. I felt more informed, more educated on whatever kind of topic we were listening to.
Yeah.
And so but I fell in love with like radio, And so like even once I got established in the career that I have now, it was like I'd get made fun of by dudes because they're like, "You listen to AM radio?" And I'm like, "Yeah, doesn't everybody?"
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Paul
no,
Harvey. Come on.
yeah,
Rush
for
Limbaugh.
sure. Come
Yeah.
on, dude, get in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I listened to it, loved it, absolutely loved it, man. And I think it's because my dad, I listened to it with him, and that was a thing that we did.
Yeah.
And then over time, like the AM radio kind of became like I started listening to podcasts, you know,
See. Yep.
and then actually like throwing it back just a little bit, Grant and I did radio at Missouri State,
Oh, nice.
just a few times, but we did radio, and as part of his education, and it was so much fun.
Oh
I
yeah.
loved every moment of it, dude. It was
Yeah.
so cool. And then over time, I just kept thinking, man. Once I kind of switched from AM radio to podcasting, I'm like, dude, what, what?
This is huge.
This is groundbreaking, dude.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
AM radio to podcast.
Telling me.
Have y'all heard about
You're
podcasts?
telling me I can listen to myself.
Yeah. Well, when I say AM radio to
Yeah.
podcast, I mean like listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
And so I loved it. I'm like, this is so cool. This is so cool. I'd say for probably about 4 years, dude, I thought every single day about having my own podcast
Nice.
and how cool it would be, because I've listened to a lot. Dude, I've listened to some podcasts that are extremely successful.
Yeah.
I thought, not to be arrogant, but I could do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I would love to do that,
Yeah.
And so over like probably probably about a 2.5 year span, I started talking to my wife about it, and I'd throw it out there and be like, yeah, I think I need to start a podcast, And at first it was just kind of like facetious, just joking around.
Yeah.
And then over time, it was like I got more and more serious when I'd say it. And of course, my wife, she's so supportive. She would be like, "You need to start a podcast."
Oh nice.
She's like, "If you want to do it, do it." Because
Nice.
she's always been an absolute stud about, hey, when she feels like she can go do something,
Yeah.
she goes and she does it.
Yep.
And
I can
she-
see that in her. Yep.
Yeah,
Sure.
and she does a stellar job. Like everything she's ever done, she's had success in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been like, hey, I feel like I can do this and should do this, and so she goes and does it.
Yeah.
And she's never had anything that was just an abject failure ever. So then I kept telling her, and I'm more of like gotta have a game plan, gotta have things sorted out and set in a specific design before I jump into it, because I want to feel prepared and ready, educated, all these different things,
Yeah. That makes sense.
And she has been more of like let's just go in head first and see what happens, which
Yeah.
I guess that's why we make a good pair, is because she's like ready to dive, and I'm like, well, we don't know how to swim. Let's
Yeah.
grab
Like,
life
hold on
jackets.
a second. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But she so then I kept talking about it, and I got to the point where I'm like on the cusp,
Mm-hmm.
but I lacked the equipment. I didn't have anything to start a podcast with.
Yeah.
And actually, Christmas of last year, I think she got sick of hearing about it,
Yeah.
and she bought me some podcast equipment for Christmas.
Nice. Nice.
And I opened it up, and it was like it was the like greatest like damn you know me better than I know myself
Oh
type of
yeah.
gift.
Yeah, like exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, it was exactly what I wanted. Like,
And good stuff, not like Dollar General, headset and like
oh no, it was like, I mean, it was stuff that like you could put together a professional podcast with it.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like top of the line, but
Yeah.
dude, I've seen
She
what
she
top of the
knew
line stuff costs. Like,
yeah, but she knew what it meant to you and everything, and she
for sure. And she
yeah.
believed like Ethan can do this.
Oh
She
yeah.
she believed 100% that like this is something he can and should do,
Yeah.
which means the absolute world. But essentially, like what I had been dreaming of and wanting to do for years, she kind of like gave me the push over the cliff to like dive headfirst into it.
Nice.
I got it. All it took was one time of sitting down with the equipment and
Yeah.
recording, and I was absolutely hooked. You
Nice.
know, and then it's kind of like, man, it's been such a passion for such a long time that I guess I was just like scared or not confident enough to jump into. And
Yeah.
then once I went into it, I had to have this moment of like put the opinions of other people aside.
Oh yeah,
You
you
don't
have
ca-
to.
you don't care anymore
Yeah.
about what other people think other than the people under this roof and your closest family.
Yeah.
And it was all it was like big too whenever I approached my brother about it, and he was like, yeah dude, that'd be so fun. And then
Well, and that's huge too because you and him have always. I mean, you grew up together and everything, and supported each other and everything. And when he's like, hell yeah, let's do this.
it does
That's
help.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's so cool, man. And he has training. That's what his college degree is in
Ah.
broadcast journalism.
Oh,
And so
nice.
he was like stoked. He hasn't done that since he graduated, so he was like stoked to get back into it. So, just having a couple people close to me that were like, because all the voices in my head say, there's nothing special about you. Don't do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. Why? Why do you think you can start a podcast?
Well, yeah.
And then eventually I started going, and it was like I had to flip my mind from auto to manual and go, no, no, I'm doing this. No, I'm doing this, and I don't care. And the answer is, why not me? Not why me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I get that. Yeah.
So it's a big mental hurdle to be like,
Yeah, it
I'm cool.
is. I
I'm
mean,
cool. I'm gonna put stuff out there for people to see and listen to because I'm not arrogant thinking that I'm like all that in a bag of chips, dude.
yeah.
So it's like I have had to fight the why me hard
Yeah.
because I love doing this.
Well, and I get that 100% because whenever you reached out and got a hold of me, I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool and everything. And then like when I got done talking to you, I was like, nobody gives a crap what I am gonna say. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
and, and
yeah,
then and then we kept talking about it and everything, and I'm like, who gives a crap what I'm gonna say? And
yeah.
it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it because I've never been one to, you know,
Shy away from
well, I've never been one to like put myself out there and like
yeah,
broadcast, my opinions and my stories and everything. I've always been,
reserved a little bit.
reserved. Yeah, that's just
Yeah,
the way I've grown up and everything, and it just yeah, but no, and that's once we really got to talking about it, and then I did the first one with you, and then got busy over the summer and wanted to do another one with you, and you gave me a call, and it just it hit my mind like I want to know like what your meaning is for it and everything. And so
right.
that's why I asked you that question because I was like, that's cool.
Well, and,
It's
and I
really
think
cool.
there's another aspect of it too, which is like, um, I'm not I don't think of myself as a genius, but I know I'm not dumb. My parents gave me a very good education,
Oh yeah.
and like, I always tested well and had good grades and stuff like that. And, like I've been established in my career for a long time. And so there's still stuff to learn. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I'm not learning every day.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of days are, and I love to learn. Like I get stoked when I get new information or new skills.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's good for my psyche. And I think one massive aspect of doing this is, dude, I I did not know anything. I knew zero. I didn't know what computer I should have. I didn't know what program I should have. I didn't know, is this a good mic? Is this a
Mm-hmm.
bad mic? I don't know. I don't know anything about audio, dude, because I'm a utility worker.
Yeah.
What do I know about audio?
And in your head, it fired off a whole new learning spree.
Yeah,
I mean, essentially,
it was a whole world that
it
I have no idea about.
yeah.
Um, and at first it was like really intimidating thinking about doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I started getting into it, I'm like, oh my gosh, my mind craves this.
Yeah.
My mind wants to learn. I want to know new things and have new skills.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
Yeah.
And so that was another thing I kind of thought, I'm like, you know, I am I wasting some of my brain's potential and not doing by not giving it more of a challenge every day? And this has been a challenge every day. And so it has removed idle time from my mind, which,
Oh yeah.
the an idle mind is a devil's playground.
Oh
You ever
yeah.
heard that?
Yes, I have.
And so it's literally been so good because, dude, like the idle time in my mind is gone. I am, it's either my work, my family, or the podcast business.
Yeah.
And I love it. So that drove me even further into it. And then I got to doing it, and I'm sorry for just like I'm just you
No,
asked the
it's a
question
big
and I just
deal.
rolled,
No,
man.
it's a big deal. Yeah.
Uh Once I got into it, man, it was like, dude, I love this. And everybody that came over and did it was like, dude, I want to do this all day long.
Oh yeah.
And then I started telling
You're
people,
you're the guy to go do a podcast with because it's freaking awesome, dude. I love.
it's so fun.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Like we talk all day,
Uh huh.
but something about almost like performing while you're talking,
Yeah.
or talking your best. I talked to somebody about this a while back. You're talking your best.
Yeah.
It's making you talk your best, or at least try to.
Yeah, because you don't
fun.
want to just have slang and everything, and you're being. I mean, it's different than our normal lives and everything. Sitting here,
Right.
everything's. I don't know what I'm really trying to say, but
think
I get what you're meaning.
Yeah, essentially, like you want to be you, because
Yeah.
if you're not authentic or you, then
Oh yeah, yeah.
nobody
Exactly.
cares,
Yeah.
right? Because there's a billion fake fools out there.
Oh yeah,
Nobody cares about. So you want to be you, but you want to be succinct.
yeah,
You don't want to. And I struggle with this too, being like, um, um, I still do that. You want to just like you want to have your mental game strong so that what you want to say, you can just flow it out there and it sounds good.
I feel like I've said yeah too many times. But
Yeah's not a
I
bad.
don't know if I want to, change it up. Be like right on,
Yeah, word,
right on, word.
sup, bet,
Yeah,
bet. Uh,
yeah,
but it's a fun new challenge. It's been so exciting, and then I started doing it, and I love it. Everybody I've talked to loves it, and I'm like, dude, I want to share this with people,
mm-hmm.
And so that's when I was like, I could produce other people's podcasts
Oh
because
yeah,
I would share something that I love, that I'm passionate about with other people. And then there's other people that are much more talented than I am. Like, for example, I think you're natural. You're one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life. And so just having you like do the podcast, this
Yeah.
is good because I've got one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life doing the podcast.
Well-
Like I'm sharing it with you. So that's when I decided to branch out and be like, I should do this. I should offer this service
Yeah.
for other people, dude.
Yep.
It's been and it's kind of like, man, I want to try and like reach for my highest end potential.
Yeah.
And this is something where I feel like I can kind of almost be like an endless mountain to
Yeah.
climb, trying to find what I'm capable of doing, you know?
Yep.
So I guess that's kind of the long and the long of it,
Yeah.
you know?
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. It's been
Cool.
I don't have to tell you, dude, you're sitting here right now. You know how much fun this has been,
Oh yeah.
you know? Now
Yeah.
the thing that sucks, here's what stinks about it, cuz I do want to grow it and build it,
Yeah.
not just like for me, but then when people come to me, which, there's a few that I'm doing their podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm producing it, so
Yeah.
I'm not talking. They're coming in, utilizing the equipment, and I'm running the technology,
Mm-hmm.
which is that's the tough thing to do, is learning that side of it. So it's essentially, hey, you come down, you sit in these chairs, use these microphones, you talk for an hour, you get up and walk out, and next day you have a professional quality podcast.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
that's what I'm running, and it's a lot of fun. I don't even remember where I was going with that now,
No. I mean.
but it's just sharing it with people, man.
Yeah.
Doing it. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. I love all this stuff of it. Literally everything that happens in this room is is one of the best times you can have, dude.
Oh
Especially if you're
yeah.
sitting here with a friend.
Yeah. Exactly.
Here's what sucks. This is what
Yeah.
I was going to say. Social media. I had been off of it all for like 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Well, probably about 3 years. Completely off. Just done. Like at one point I had this realization. I'm like, dang, I'm sitting here feeding my daughter and I'm looking at Facebook instead of
Oh yeah.
talking to her and listen to whatever cute little gibberish she has.
Yep.
And got rid of all of it. But then whenever it got to this point, what I was saying is I want to build this for me, for my family, for everybody that sits on that couch, everybody that does a podcast. I want to build it so that it can be an awesome thing for everyone that participates.
Yeah.
Social media is imperative for that.
Oh, dude, it's what it is.
Yeah.
100%.
And I've been off of it for so long. I got back into it and I'm like, wow, I have not missed this.
Yeah.
I do not miss social media. Like, you got to post. I already, like, every time I post something, I feel like a complete dingus, dude. Because I'm like, nobody wants to see my stuff
Yeah.
that I'm posting. Nobody wants to see me making a video or doing a podcast. So that was another hurdle where I had to go, like, if they do or they don't, you have to do it.
Yeah.
There's an audience out there somewhere, and the audience might be for you. The audience might be for clients that you have.
Yep.
You got to do it.
Yep.
So that's, I guess, self-doubt, on this has been the biggest, like, mountain to climb,
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, you've never really been that kind of person, though. Self-doubt. I mean,
Well, you never know what's in somebody's mind.
well, yeah,
You know what
true.
I mean? I mean, I'd say maybe it wasn't self-doubt. I guess it was probably more like, I don't feel like I need to just broadcast to the world all of the things that I think are awesome about me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I knew I could put together a good
Yeah.
podcast, or I was confident I could learn how to,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't feel like there was something so special about me
Yeah.
that world's gonna be missing out if I don't start putting stuff on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I mean. I
Yep.
guess it's not so much self-doubt as maybe like a lack of pride or arrogance.
Yeah.
I've never felt like, world's gonna be a worse place
Yeah.
if I don't post on Instagram every day. So
Yeah, and I think that's what's different about you and genuine about you is that, you're going about it that way. I mean, just like you explained what this, means to you.
yeah, man. And I mean, it was like, I guess one thing is I'm so so happily married, and I've got two beautiful daughters, and I couldn't be any more thankful for where my life is. Um, like I don't need social media,
Yeah.
but
Well, you see so many different podcasts of people doing different things and interviewing different people and then the funny ones and then the serious ones and I don't know if you can really like Joe Rogan. I'm like on my phone like what's this guy have to say?
oh yeah,
Like
absolutely,
I've been having a bad day and then seen a video of him and I was like yeah, hell yeah,
yeah, for sure, dude.
and stuff like that. But you're just a good dude, a good happy dude, and I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I mean, this is what this is something you really want to do, and I'm trying to explain like what this is to you, and on my terms,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
and I want to hear that for
so
sure.
people, because I didn't know what you want to do with this. I didn't know if you wanted to inspire people, if we wanted to just, you know, laugh all the time, which it's going to happen. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's what
yeah,
we do.
for sure.
That's why for just a little bit, I wanted to sit down and just wonder, what this, meant to you, which direction you were going with it, and
Yeah,
everything. So I was just curious about that, and I think that's a big thing for other people to know.
yeah, and I'll be honest, dude. Like I know what it like means to me as far as just like what I'm getting to do, and I'm so thankful to God for giving the opportunity,
Yeah,
to be able to like get the stuff and start doing this. I'm so thankful.
yeah,
So I know what it means to me to just be able to do it,
yeah,
and in learning the skills, I don't feel like I've sat down and gone, this is what I want my podcast to be. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
100%.
I've been all over the place,
Oh yeah,
and the other people that I've produced, they're like very niche. They
yeah,
know what they're talking about,
yeah.
and we've been all over the place, laughing, some serious, lots of laughing for
Well, the
sure.
different guys that you bring in, and then
It
you bring
changed.
me in,
Yeah.
it's like,
It changes every time, and so that I guess that would be the one thing that I don't know. I don't know that I can sit and tell you like, dude, honestly, I really want to sit here and communicate to people the importance of history and
yeah,
how important it is to not ignore it. Like that, I don't know yet.
yeah,
The big thing is it's like my favorite podcasts that I listen to are usually like a couple guys, a couple good buddies
yeah,
that sit down and just be honest with each other and shoot the breeze, and they just like they're honest
yep,
and they're funny. They just have their interaction, and that's what I enjoy listening to. So that's why this has kind of been that type of podcast,
yep,
But I want to evolve, and like wherever it might be. Like me and you were talking about, uh, you know, a girl dad podcast
oh yeah,
because you and I both have two little
100%.
girls, and so I'm like, the way my brain works is every day I'm like, is this the channel? Is this the direction? Like,
Yeah,
what are we gonna, what are we? Is this gonna be let's talk about being dads that have little girls
yeah.
and
Well,
what
and
that.
and then on another side, let's talk about. I'm a single dad with two girls,
That's I thought
and
I was
I've
like,
been that for 3 years now.
yeah,
Of just, of me and the girls, and some of the stuff that I've been through. I'm just like, I don't know what to say to you. Like, go play in your room. Like,
and
some of
I
the
can.
stuff, and it's
Yeah. That, and I feel, and I've thought about that too, because I've thought, there have been so many times when I've been thankful that I could go, let's ask your mama about that.
yeah,
There have been those times. And so and maybe this is a segment for another day. I
it
don't
may
know.
be, yeah.
But I thought
We're
about
getting
earlier
into it, but
also, I was like, when we were texting about, being girl dads. I
yeah,
was like, that's an interesting perspective too, because my wife is here.
yeah,
We're all together. I've got help. In fact, I'm the help. She's the everything.
yeah.
And then it's like you're single dad. That's so tough.
Well, I have to call out, my mom. she's been there amazingly, 100%. Love her to death.
Yo, your mom's
I'm not going
awesome.
to sit here and act like, oh yeah, I've done it all by myself. No, I haven't.
Right,
I
right.
mean, I quick story. I called my mom at 3 o'clock in the morning while we were in the hospital with my oldest daughter because we both didn't know what to do. 30 minutes later, she walks in at 3:30 in the morning, picks up the newborn baby, gets her to stop crying while we pass out because we was in labor for like 30 hours.
That
Yeah.
damn, dude.
So when I call
Your
out
mom's an angel.
mom's,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
amazing, amazing woman for sure.
For sure. That's
Yeah.
your mom was always so cool too,
Oh
man. Like there
yeah,
were times whenever uh my dad and your mom and you and me
yeah.
would roll in the Avenger.
Avenger, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Yep.
that. Yep,
Drive to Oklahoma City or
yep,
Tulsa
yep.
and we
Play a
we
football game.
yep, play a
Yep.
football game and then climb back in that thing stinking like Satan's rectal
Bad, yeah.
cavity and then just
100%.
drive back, dude.
Yep.
So that's
You know,
and maybe that's I don't know, man. Maybe that's something we dive into later. I don't
yeah.
know. We could jump into it now. There's just it's I'll tell you this, and you tell me how you felt
Okay.
talking about being. Uh, Actually, I'm gonna ask you the question.
Okay.
When you found out that your oldest daughter or your oldest child was gonna be a girl, what was your thought?
I knew she was going to be a girl.
Like from the word go. Like from
From
the
when I was I grew up fast and young. From
yeah,
when I think so from when I was 15 or 16, I knew that my first child was going to be a girl. I remember having that thought.
what do you
hundred
think
percent.
gave you that intuition?
I think it was I needed that in my life because of how I had to be a man raising my little brother when I was a teenager and stuff like that.
Right.
I needed that was the only thing that was going to attach me
Yeah.
because a boy
It's just
I would have
another
treated
man.
different. It's
Yeah.
another man.
Yeah.
You need to work hard.
Yeah.
You need to be tough. And just like I'd been showed.
Yeah.
That was what was beat into my head
No patience.
beat in
No.
my head from day one.
Yeah.
Was you need to work hard. You need to. That's all that matters.
Men
It's
don't have
hard work.
feelings.
Yeah,
Men,
basically. Yeah,
you're,
exactly.
you're a brick
And so I
wall.
knew that was the only thing that was really going to grab onto me, and yeah. So basically, whenever we got pregnant with my first child, it was funny because uh, she was like, "Well, it's going to be, mothers kind of know, what they're going to have, and I'm like, okay." And she's like, wanted to do that 3D ultrasound,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all this and that. And I'm just like, okay, like whatever. I was like, it's going to be a girl.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm telling you, it's going to be a girl, 100%. Hell, I don't know, I don't know. And that 3D ultrasound, as soon as it kicked on, she had her legs spread apart, upside down. And it was like, and she just looked at me and I was like, I told you.
No doubt. Yeah.
It's going to be a girl,
Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
So, same way with the second one. I'm not even lying. In that one, she's like, it's going to be a boy. We've got River, we've got the first girl. The second one's going to be a boy. And I'm like, I'm not a boy dad.
Right.
I'm not. I'm a girl dad,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And same way. Had an ultrasound. It was a girl. I was like, told you.
You just knew.
I just knew, 100%, because that's what, with how my life has been and everything. A boy would have been. I'm not saying I wouldn't love and care. I would love it.
You needed girls.
100%. My girlfriend has a boy without a dad. Me and
Right.
him are just, 100%. He's in football.
Right.
Hardcore. I'm there, 100%.
for sure.
But them two girls, I
That's
mean, they are like
that's what you needed.
that's what I needed. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. And to see how my life played out down the road, that's what I had to have.
absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, that's it's kind of funny that you say that because whenever like we were married for several years before we got pregnant,
Yeah.
and for all these years I was like, well, obviously I'm meant to be a boy dad because
Yeah.
I played football, I love to fish, I love to hunt. I'm just like I'm a big it, man hobby activities. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
my
man.
stuff,
Yeah, exactly.
and so I just kind of was like, I was like, well, obviously I'm gonna be a boy dad. And then we found out we were having a girl,
Yeah.
and I think I got way more scared, like way more nervous,
Yeah.
finding out that it was a little girl because I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I've known.
Well, you wasn't expecting it. I on the kind of on the blind side I was expecting a girl. So
Yeah,
for a long time I was like so that wasn't I was like heck yeah,
you were kind of like
it's a girl.
prepared for
I
it.
was
Okay.
mentally.
Yeah. I guess I took a little time like to prepare, and then it was like I was literally scared up until my oldest was born.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel ready because I was scared. I'm like, I've never been a girl,
Yeah.
you know. Like in today's world, I probably could have gone and been a girl for a couple weeks
Well,
or something
yeah,
and then
yeah,
come back.
exactly.
but
Different segment.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. But I've never,
Uh,
I don't know the first thing about it.
yeah.
And then like I feel like all of those unsure feelings that I was feeling up into that point, the moment that my oldest daughter was born, like, dude, it like ran out of me like Niagara Falls.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
like bawling, bawling, bawling,
Uh,
like harder than I have, like maybe ever.
yeah.
So that was crazy. But it's interesting to hear that you were like, your intuition was I'm having a girl, kind of because like the girl was what you needed.
Yeah.
You knew that
100%.
that's what you needed, and I gotta say I'm right there with you too. With like I know I would love a son so much,
Yes.
but
100. And don't get me wrong. I mean that would be amazing. I don't care what it is, as long as it's healthy. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
oh yeah, yeah,
But deep down inside, I was like, kind of knew what I needed.
for sure, yeah. Which is
And
such an amazing blessing that you got what you needed, because it is insane how with both my girls I bawled my eyes out
yeah.
when they were born. It's like there's just something special, and then I think that it's made me more patient. It's softened my heart. It's made me more of a kind person.
Yeah.
More gentle. Just and then constantly thinking about like trying to take care of a little girl's heart
Oh yeah.
is something that I think it grabs my attention more than trying to take care of a little future man's heart. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
As
Yeah.
bad as that
Right,
might
it's
sound.
like, better be tough. I don't know what to tell you,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, yeah. For
Yeah.
sure, for sure. That's crazy. Well, I think we ought to actually like at some point dive into a little bit more like
Yeah, 100%.
girl dad. Like here's some stories. Here's some stories.
Oh yeah.
That'd be sweet. But I'd have to go back through the Rolodex and like have to prepare a couple
Yeah.
and see which ones we want to go into.
Yeah, exactly.
But that is like, obviously we got so much in common and we've been, good friends for so long, but
Yeah,
you know,
it's crazy that would.
each of us having two.
One thing that I'm really curious about, and probably need to save it, but I'm just wondering, what's the difference in the two, like the attitudes of them?
It is night and day.
Mine are. It is insane.
And they even look different
Yeah,
because the youngest looks exactly like me
yeah,
and our oldest looks like a combination of my wife and I.
yeah,
But it's not even, and they're both hilarious
yeah,
in completely different ways. Their personalities, their strengths, like, yeah, it's insane, dude. Like one of them will sit and talk to a complete stranger for 20 minutes
Mm-hmm.
and actually have a fluid conversation,
Yeah.
you know? And then but then the other one excels at like being helpful and cleaning things up. And
Oh
like
yeah.
work, it's just weird.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And so I you know what I'm talking about.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just they came from the same two people from the
Oh
same
yeah.
place. And
That's why I was wondering, like what the difference is, because mine are huge, so huge, and when they want to touch, I don't know. I don't want to keep rambling about it. But Rowan, my youngest,
yeah.
wears boy Reebok underwear because their panties were always up their butt crack, and I was like, single dad. I was like, that does not look comfortable at all.
No.
So I go and buy the spandex, same kind of underwear that I wear. I'm not even kidding.
No.
Yeah.
It's
And I'm like, here. I'm like,
you got to understand it's funny.
that does
but
not look comfortable at all.
no.
Well, my youngest is turning 4, and she'll have on a pair of shorts, and her Reebok boxer brief underwear will almost be like
Sticking out below the
Yeah,
shorts.
dude, she is something else. She will not wear the normal
The
style. Yeah,
panties.
and then my oldest one, she's very likes to dress up as a princess and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
My youngest, she'll come out with a freaking cowboy hat on, shades.
Yeah.
She has this like fur vest that she'll put on. I'll show you a picture, dude.
sure,
and,
dude.
and then she'll just stand there and just look at me
Yeah,
with
yeah.
her Reebok little boy underwear on and cowboy boots. Like she is so.
She hilarious.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
That's
she
how
is funny. So
they're both so funny. But
I told
our youngest also
yeah.
is like over the moon hilarious, and it's on purpose.
Oh really?
It's intentional. You know,
Yeah.
like sometimes she'll just go grab something and she'll put it in her face and she'll like, she'll say gook, gook, gook. And that's look, and then she'll just have this cheesy gook. Gook. She'll have something she's not supposed to
Being
have in her
funny.
mouth. And it
Yeah.
just and then her look is like
Yeah.
it's so good, dude.
Uh,
So good, yeah. Maybe we'll dive into differences at some
Yeah,
point. I kind
we
of got to
need to.
pee. We can do a little break and then
Yeah.
see like how many minutes we're at. And
That'll work.
maybe a little more. Word.